Now, we've heard it all and seen it before. You turn on the television or you go online or you check a newspaper or a magazine, and every single time there's always something that has to do with global warming. Many world leaders and iconic figures hail that global warming is a major crisis caused by humanity, that if we don't take immediate or drastic action, it could jeopardize our very existence. Now, these claims might come in bunches, but I believe people need to consider the facts first. Global warming is not necessarily near as bad as what these people are making it out to be, and I have evidence to prove it. I'm trying to uncover the truth that global warming isn't really a man-made problem and shouldn't be considered a major problem in the first place. Now, there's an article by the Heartland Institute, and they've been studying global warming for the past century, and they found that there was an increase in global warming, or in the temperature at least, in the late 20th century. However, tests have shown that at least 2/3 of the warming are from natural climate change or natural causes. And the forecasts of global warming are very unreliable in the future, and they don't know if it's going to increase. But at the rate that it's been going, they say that it could actually prove to be beneficial for our environment. Moderate warming can be good for many plant and animal species and can also be good for agricultural purposes. You can't really argue with science on this. However, environmentalists and scientists have been butting heads on this issue for a very long time. All environmentalist organizations today are saying that global warming is real. Global warming is a major crisis. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has even proved to say that greenhouse gases are most likely the cause of climate change right now. However, the scientific community completely disagrees with this matter. In the scientific community, the debate is still continuing on whether global warming is actually happening. Climate processes are too poorly understood as a science for people to really comprehend what's going to be happening. So therefore, they can't really define it as being an actual crisis yet. So because of that, we don't really need to take drastic action on something that we don't even know is a crisis right now. However, we still hear it all the time. Many environmentalists have just come to a consensus that global warming is real, and they've been trying to stop it. And stopping or preventing climate change requires taxes, lots of income distribution, and regulations on corporations. And this is already on a long list of things for liberals in government. And liberals can use this. They don't really want to look behind the scenes and see if the scientific evidence is actually adding up. They just want to use it to help them carry out their list of plans that they have to carry out for government. There was a great article by ABC News that makes a great point that says that climate change is not the real crisis that we should be dealing with right now. We aren't seriously threatened by climate change right now, because each day people die from things like hunger, waterborne illness, and AIDS, and many other things, and there are thousands of people dying each day. Many of these issues could be prevented if we weren't so worried about saving our planet. And when it all comes down to it, we can't really battle nature. No matter how much action we take, it won't take away climate change completely. Plus, while there are many things happening that have immediate consequences on us right now, the consequences of climate change can span to hundreds of years in the future, way further on than what we need to be worried about. Now, for the last point that I need to make is for people who claim that water level will rise from icebergs, and this is something that I've always thought is funny. This ideology is very flawed, and somebody told me a great analogy that can help prove this. Imagine that you have a cup of water, and then you put a couple of ice cubes inside. The water level is going to rise when you put the ice cubes in because it displaces the water by being in there. When the ice cubes melt, it's not going to change the water level because it had already displaced it in the first place. So it goes with icebergs. When icebergs are already sitting in the ocean, when they melt, it's not going to raise the water level at all. The water level is going to stay the same because it was already displaced. Now, after considering everything that's been said, hopefully the next time that you hear someone like Leonardo DiCaprio preaching about global warming being the end-all for humanity, just remember that you don't need to worry about it so much. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do anything about our amount of emissions, because something should be done about that for the sake of our health and pollution. But I am saying that we need to make our climate change less of a priority internationally. Global warming is happening, but it is not a crisis.